Hi, I'm Alice Lee. I'm a holistic and integrative psychiatrist practicing in Gaithersburg, Maryland, and I want to welcome you to my YouTube channel that comes out weekly. I hope you subscribe. And also, I would love to have you subscribe to my newsletter that comes out once a week on Tuesdays as well. For those of you who watch this video all the way to the end, I want to reward you for your persistence with a bonus tip at the end. Alright, so today my topic is on energy medicine, but since it's such a large topic, I wanted to narrow it down to the 3 favorite techniques that I love in energy medicine that I use all the time. I want to share them with you and help you to be able to integrate them into your life easily as well. So what is energy medicine? Energy medicine has to do with a lot of different techniques. It includes acupuncture as well as meditation and hands-on healing. Applied kinesiology or muscle testing is included as part of energy medicine. So I could go on and on about how everything is literally energy anyway, so a lot of the healing techniques may not be understood as an energy intervention, but actually is helping at the energy level. But today I wanted to just focus on 3 techniques. Those 3 techniques are energy breaths, EET, and Logosynthesis. These are the 3 simple techniques. So energy breaths is actually on my website under the information tab. So if you go to information and then it'll choose energy medicine techniques and you go there, there's a recording called energy breaths. I think of energy breaths as kind of like putting gas in your gas tank. So if you wanted to drive your car from A to Z, you want to make sure that your car has some gasoline in its gas tank. I ask my patients to do that once in the morning, once in the evening, so that they can refuel their gas tank at the end of the day. And even though it's called energy breaths, it actually isn't like a coffee kind of energy breath. It's more like a very calming, very functional way to access energy. So don't be afraid that just because you're doing it in the evening that you'll be up at night because you can't sleep. So energy breaths is just a way to access beautiful life energy that you can use for your body to help you speed up your healing process. My second favorite technique actually is a very simple technique that I invented. Well, energy breaths I kind of invented myself too, even though I discovered after I created it that it was very similar to an old Tibetan meditation, I think. But I didn't know that at the time that I created the energy breaths. But the second technique, like I said, that I like is even simpler than energy breaths. It's called Empower Energy Technique, and I created that recently. And it's very beautiful. It's very, very powerful. But it's only one sentence, and it goes like this. I now choose to align myself with life energy and be empowered to, and then you just state whatever it is that you want to be empowered to do. So when you go to my website, you go to information and you click on energy medicine techniques, you can choose among them a lot of different techniques, and at the very top is called EET, Empower Energy Technique. And when you go there, it's going to explain to you why this particular technique is so powerful, because everything in energy medicine is all about your understanding and your appreciation and your ability to do a technique without a lot of other conflicting skepticism or cynicism getting in the way of your ability to do this work. So with EET, even though it's very simple, it's one sentence, it requires a certain level of understanding and openness to the shifts that this kind of technique can create. But because it's so simple, one of the things that I share in my website is how to apply it in a way that can be that can maximize its power for your healing process. My third technique that I really enjoy using in my practice all the time is called Logosynthesis. It's a long word, but it is actually quite a simple technique, and it's by a Swiss psychologist, and his name is Willem Lammers. So Willem Lammers created Logosynthesis. It's 3 sentences, but it doesn't have the acupressure points that typically people have to memorize for EFT, Emotional Freedom Technique. So it's a lot easier actually to learn. The 3 sentences can be found on my website. They are, I now retrieve all of my energy bound up in, and then you would name whatever the problem, feeling, or belief is, and I bring this energy back to the correct place within myself. And then you would take a few breaths and you go on to the second sentence. I now retrieve all of my energy bound up in all of my reactions to whatever the problem or feeling or belief is, and I bring this energy back to the correct place within myself. And again, you take some breaths. And the third sentence is, I now remove all non-me energy, or you can say all the energy that doesn't belong to me, bound up in whatever the problem is. I remove this non-me energy from all of my body, being, and personal space, and I send this energy back to where it truly belongs. So those are the 3 sentences. You can find them on my website, and the problem in logosynthesis can be very specifically tailored. Okay, so for those of you who've reached this far in my video, here's my my special bonus tip that I wanted to share with you, and that is whenever I do these particular techniques, I will test to see if the technique has actually worked to shift my patient's energy. So what you'll do is you hold out your arm in front of you and have another person just kind of gradually push down with increasing pressure, and see what your baseline strength is at the beginning. When you do that test, just make sure that your mind is clear. You're just focusing on holding your arm. You're not thinking of anything or anybody in particular. And then what you'll do is you'll think of whatever the thought, the belief, or the problem or issue is that you're going to work on using any of these techniques. And then while you're holding out your arm, and as you're tapping into that problem or just setting intention to focus on the problem or feeling, go ahead and push down on your arm again. Usually patients, when they're focusing on a problem or belief that is a problem for them, they will go weaker. You can notice that because the arm is not as strong. And then what you'll do is you'll intervene with these techniques, either logosynthesis or EET, or you can set positive intentions while you're doing your energy breaths. And then after you've done that at least once, all the way through, you can test again. You can focus on the problem, and then you can muscle test again and see if this time, as you're focusing on the problem, if your energy system is in a stronger place. Most of my patients, their energy becomes much stronger after an intervention. And if it's not, we do it another time, a second time. Usually I will do it once, check it, and then I'll do it again and check it again. And usually after 2 rounds of these techniques, when the person is thinking or reflecting on the problem, their arm is actually very strong. There's no blockages to the energy flow, and so it works really well. I've used these techniques to help people heal from severe trauma. I'll just end with a little story. There was a young man who wanted to work with me, and he had been basically secluded and isolated in a basement apartment for several years after he had witnessed a traumatic event where a young girl had shot a young boy, and he was there when that happened, and the young boy was shot in the head, and it traumatized this young man, and he felt very guilty about it, very depressed and anxious. Now, this young man had been in psychotherapy most of his life, but after that trauma, he just wasn't able to do anything with his life. He just ended up basically feeling tired, depressed, and anxious all day long. He couldn't hold a job or anything. So what happened was, after he came to my practice, and we started him on some supplements that are helpful to support his overall health. We started using logosynthesis to help him with his trauma. And within 4 months, this young man was able to clear any anxieties that he had about flying. His depression lifted. He was able to get a job. He moved on with his life and basically resolved his issues and was able to just go on with his life. He continued his psychotherapy, but none of that psychotherapy actually did anything to create these changes until he started using these energy medicine techniques and started taking some supplements to help his body to heal as well. So that's how powerful these interventions can work. I also want to mention that the whole process of his healing, from the time that he was unable to do anything other than stay in a basement apartment and be sad all day, to being able to resolve everything and move on with his life, was 4 months. So only 4 months later, he was able to pick up his life and move on with his goals, and being able to have hopes and dreams once again that he wants to pursue. So I hope that you'll be able to take a look at these techniques and apply them in your life. I hope that you'll be able to find something that you can work on in your life that would benefit from these simple techniques, and that you'll join me next week for other helpful information that I hope will benefit your life and help you grow and to find greater joy and health in every aspect of your life. So thank you for watching this video. I hope you have a great week, and I will talk with you very soon. Okay, thanks. Bye-bye.